time to put this door back up. The first thing I do is I grab one of my hinge pins and I make sure that it's not the NRP hinge, a non-removable hinge pin, and I'm just going to kind of put that on my nail back, so I'm going to set it right here like that, because that's for my top hinge. I'm going to lift this back up. And this door is probably, I don't know, 75, 80 pounds. And all I'm going to worry about is lifting this up and getting this top hinge on here. Can you see me, camera person?
Yep.
Everything I'm doing, I'm going to lift up right here. I'm going to get this in there. I'm just concerned about this top hinge right there. Got it. Holding on to it. I don't care about the middle one or the bottom one. My hinge pin there. And sometimes it'll slide right in. And sometimes it won't. I'll play with it a little bit. Okay, I got it down just a hair. And I only have to go down a little bit. Okay? That pin is only down to about there. I'm not going to pound it all the way in because this whole thing's not in all the way yet, is it? Okay? Okay, now I can shimmy this in to position. Kind of hit that. All I'm concerned about is this middle one. I'm going to take my NRP hinge pin and I'm going to kind of pull on the door a little bit where I think it needs to go, and I'm just going to tap that. That's all the further I'm going to go. Look, Ma, no hands. Okay, now the bottom one. Before I just shove that in there, it's off a little bit, so I'm just going to take the door and pull it towards me. Right there. Take my hammer, tap it in. Okay, it's in. Now I can tap these down. Tap, tap, tap. Try not to hit the door frame. I'm not going to pound it all the way in, just in case I need to take this door off, because guess what? I might have to bend those hinges a little bit further. I'm hoping not. Uh-oh. I have that all the way down into here. I have not checked this door yet, have we? Anna, have I closed this door yet?
Not yet.
We're going to see if it rubs. We're going to see if it rubs. Let's make sure the zoom is off. We're going to close this door now. And I'm going to see how well it looks. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Goodness gracious.
Pretty neat, Joe.
Okay, we're going to take a look at this and we're going to make an overall decision. Now see on my gap? My gap right here is a little bit bigger, isn't it? Right in there. If I look at the top, it still looks like the door could go up a little bit higher. It still looks like I got enough room here. It's not this actual overall gap right there. It's on the inside because this door is a metal door on the outside and it's got wood on the inside. So I look at that trim piece on the inside where the actual hinge is on. See, I don't have much gap there, do I? I got maybe 1/8 of an inch at most. Okay, I still look at this door and I see that the gap is still pretty big down here at the bottom. Right there. I actually want that raised up a little bit more because what's going to happen is after time, this door is going to sag again. It's going to start rubbing at the bottom again. Okay? So I'm going to check the deadbolt. The deadbolt is still working fine, and it should. Now see, it's fine. I could call that good, but guess what? I'm gonna take the door off and I'm gonna bend the hinge a little bit more. Yes.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
You're a perfectionist.
I am gonna raise that up a little bit more because I know I can push that over just a hair more. What it's doing is taking the door here and it's lifting up the left-hand side up like that as I'm taking this box. See? So I'm doing that business. I'm gonna push it over a little bit more because 6 months from now, I don't want them calling me saying, hey Joe, you fixed our door. 3 months, 6 months later, hey, can you come and fix it again? Nothing doing. I don't want that. I want to allow this door to sag a little bit more later on. If it does, chances are it's not going to sag much more because it's 15, 20-year-old door maybe, or maybe even older. So see, I want to take this and get it up a little bit higher so I never have to worry about this door again. Okay? So you're in luck. You get to see this whole process again, and this time it's going to be faster because the hinge pins are all set to go. Let's do it. Hey, and if you're wondering, hey Joe, would you do this if it was your door? Yes, I would. I'm all set here. It's only going to take me a few more minutes at this point to get this, right? That's what I want to instill in you. If you're going to do a job, do it right. This is just going to give you extra practice. There's no rhyme or reason as to, okay, I got to have the door open a little bit, as to how much to bend this hinge. And you see, that's why I just bent the 3 knuckles that were on the door. Sometimes on the door there's 2 knuckles on the door and 3 on the door jambs. So you have to look at that carefully, make sure that you know what you're doing and follow it through. Okay, now see, this bottom one looks like it's bent just a hair further, so I know I've got to do those other 2. Wow. And another thing, don't turn your back on the door that doesn't have any hinge pins on it, because this could fall out of the door, out of the opening, and it could hurt somebody. That would be bad news. Bad news bears, baby. Okay, now I'm going to lift it, gently pull it off of there. That. Take it and swivel it. Yeah. Put this back down. This time I'm only going to concentrate on this top hinge. I want this as tight as it will go before it gets on there, okay? I'm going to force this down a little bit, about the same amount each go. Got to do that one maybe. We can put meander there. That looks good. I think I'm liking that. I felt it go down a little bit more. Because see, if you go too much, you're going to have to take the door off again and then bend it back up just a little bit. Okay, we're doing all this so we don't have to so that we don't have to mess with the door jamb on this one, because we really didn't have to mess with the door jamb on this one, did we? Like some of the other videos that I've shown you. Got my hinge pin. Okay. Top hinge again. Just concerned about that top little bit. I know it has to come my way a little bit. There, like right there. I've got my foot underneath the door this time. Almost might be too much. Okay. Yeah, see, I like to try to line it up before I put the pin right there, but let's see if we can't get it right there. Okay, just that much, that's it. I raise it up and I'm just hanging on to the whole weight of the door right here. Okay. I'm just concerned about this middle pin. That's all. Making sure I have my NRP hinge pin on this one. Look at that. Went right on down, didn't it? Okay. This bottom one, I know I have to pull it out, so I'm going to pull out. See how much I can pull? See how that flexes right there at the bottom? Okay, so I can pull that. A little bit of a stretch. Leave that right like that. I can hit this one, my hammer handle, tap, tap, tap on the top one. Come on. Looks like you might have bent it just a hair too far, but it sure looked good when we had it off, didn't it?
It did.
Okay. Trying not to hit the paint there. This is all dirty, rusty stuff from my hammer and stuff. I'm going to try this way. Liking that. Okay. Then I didn't have to rub on here. When I get all done, see, this is from the rust on the hinges. Got on my fingers. I'm going to have to clean all that up, aren't I? When I get done. That's part of the project. Clean up when you get done. Okay, we're going to close it. We'll look at that. That almost looks like I'm in the same place. Take a look and see how much of a gap I have down here at the bottom. Okay. I'm liking that. And the other thing with this door is there's some weather stripping on the actual bottom edge of the door. Sometimes it's not on the bottom, it's on a shoe. That's a U-shaped shoe that gets pushed on the whole thing, and then you got face screws right here, and you can adjust that if you ever have a problem. See, you might have been able to adjust that and not even have to fix the door on a sagging door. Maybe all you have to do is adjust the weather stripping, the door shoe at the bottom, the door sweep. But in this particular case, this is attached to the bottom edge. And so I still want to be mindful, and it looks like because this is so old, lots of that weather stripping, usually it has some feelers on the bottom, and these appear to have rubbed off. And so I don't want to raise this up too high, or else I'm not going to get a good seal at the bottom. Okay. And so I'm going to look at that, take that in consideration too now, I guess. And I got plenty of gap here now, and I'm going to call that door good. First off, because these hinges are pretty rusty, I don't want to make this any more than I've done already. I've made 2 attempts at this. I've actually even bent it a little bit more, and I still have a nice gap there. Not as much as before, okay? It's tighter on the inside. I got maybe a 1/16 of an inch, and I could actually go that much more, but then I'm up tight to the door jamb. I don't necessarily have to be tight to the door jamb. I can still have the reveal. The reveal is about the same all the way down now. I've got this off. This is looking pretty good. Okay, it's closing nice. Look at that. It's going to open and close just fine. I still got the weather stripping down there. If I raise this up anymore, I'm going to lose my weather stripping at the bottom. So I'm deciding not to mess with this anymore. If I didn't have weather stripping at the bottom like that, if this was an interior door, let's say, and I didn't have to worry about exterior weather stripping, I may want to tweak it over that way a little bit more. But in this case, I'm deciding to leave it alone. Good thing is you get to decide all this stuff. I'm just showing you what an average Joe can do. on a door like this. Now you take that information and use it to the best of your ability. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Hey, did you catch that? I told you this was the entire project, but you were thinking, hey Joe, what about the non-removable hinge pin, the little set screw? If you thought that, give yourself a gold star, because that wasn't the end of this whole video. And maybe I did that for your benefit. Maybe it wasn't because I happened to forget. Okay, now be real careful with that. And hold your mouth just right to get that back in there. Because if it's not going in properly, you're going to have to back it out knowing that you've got it cross-threaded to begin with or whatever. Okay? I've got that pretty snug. I'll see if I can't turn it. One more. Okay, just that much. That's it. That's all I have to do with that set screw. Okay? Now that pin is not going to go anywhere. And probably, you know what? It's probably okay, but I'm going to loosen that up. Because see, you got to have that pin down all the way so that you know you're inside the proper slot. And I didn't do that, did I? I did not do that. Okay, so I'm just going to take my screwdriver here, tap that back down in there. That. Okay, now I can put that little set screw in. So I'm backing it off because I don't think I'm in there just right. There, that feels better. And see, the screw went in lots further that time. That's because I had it on the bottom edge of that knuckle, and if somebody went in from outside, they could have still popped that pin up. It would have been a little bit harder to do because the set screw would be just right on the sliding pin, but it wouldn't have been in that groove, would it? Okay. I'm just going to make it as tight as I can, just this way, and that should be fine. Okay, that screw is just in there keeping that from going up and down. Okay? That's it from small town US of A. All right. I'll catch you next time.
Joe, I have a question for you.
The never-ending video. This is 3 times, but the 3rd time is a charm. Okay, what is it, Anna?
I noticed on the very top hinge there,
Yeah,
it looks like it's not all the way down.
that's right. And neither is the bottom one. So, if this is an exterior door, and if you found it with the pins all the way down, make sure you tap them down. And if you feel uncomfortable hitting right next to there, you take a screwdriver or a nail set or something like that and do that. Now am I done with this project? No, I'm not. You remember, I got to clean all this stuff off. I'm not going to show that. You know how to clean that off. But when you leave a project, if you make a mess, if you grubby up the door from your dirty hands, your rusty hands because of the hinge pins and all that kind of stuff, make sure you go the extra mile. Clean all this stuff up. Look at this door. See, I've got stuff on the edge of the door where I handled it. Even if I think I didn't handle it on this edge, I still want to clean up this edge because I've got my fingerprints everywhere on this door, don't I? Up here, down on the side from handling it sideways, over here on the door jamb itself, on the trim here. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up. Then I'm going to be done. But this is it for this video.